Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then hi, my name is Caitlin. Welcome. And today I was not going to film this, but today I hit a new pan in this palette. This is my Project Level Up Level 4 palette, and you know what? I'm just gonna film it. I always try and put off these kind of updates till as far in the future as possible, and then it creeps up on me and then I think, oh my god, I'm not ready. But you know what? I'm doing it early. I'm giving myself a good head start for the second half of level 4. I am very, very happy to announce we have hit 2 pans in this palette, so we're halfway there, and I could not be happier. If you don't know what this project is, it was started by the amazing Sophie Alexandra, and basically it's a good mix of pan that palette, pan those eyeshadows, and no pan left behind. So you start on level 1 and you pick a palette. I personally pick the palette, but some people randomize it. You pick a palette and you use every single shade once and hit 1 pan. For level 2, you use every single shade twice and hit 2 pans, and so on and so on. So as I mentioned, I am on level 4, which means I have to use every shade 4 times and hit 4 pans, and I've got really good progress. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I do so many project pans, shop my stashes, and get ready with me's here on this channel. And if you are curious, everything on my face will be linked down in the description box, as well as the products mentioned in this video. So if you do shop using my affiliate links, thank you so much. It really means the world to me. It really helps out the channel. But with that being said, let's jump straight into it. Okay, I haven't actually introduced this palette. This is the Juvia's Place Warrior palette, and as I said, I did hand pick this palette. So I will show you on screen what this palette looked like last month when we rolled it in. We did already have pan in the shade Kano from years ago, and the reason I decided to pick this palette is because it had been really, really neglected in my collection this year and pretty much last year as well. I really had forgotten about it. It sunk to the bottom of my drawers, and it went really, really nicely with the remaining shades in my Pan That palette, which is my Modern Renaissance palette. And this is what we look like today. As you can see, we have hit 2 new pans in the shade Mino and Aosi, and yeah, we've got a few little dips forming as well. I'm very, very happy with my progress this month. As you can see, I think we're about halfway there, so I think this is a good place to update you guys. Because this palette is so shiny, it might throw off my lighting a little bit, so I'm very, very sorry about that if the lighting goes a little bit strange. But look at this palette. I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy that it looks a little bit more loved, a little bit more used. This had not been touched in years, and it just makes me really happy now to see a few more shiny pans in it. I don't have that many looks to share with you. I only have 2 looks to share this month, just because this palette is very much a companion palette. I like to use just kind of one of these shimmers all over the lid for a quick everyday look, so it doesn't really warrant a picture and like, you know what I mean. But I do have 2 looks that I'm going to share with you that are quite special and that are quite beautiful in my opinion. So let's go. So this shade Amina I have used 2 times, so I'm halfway to my 4 use goal. This shade Idia I have used 1 time, so I need to use it 3 more times. The shade Mino, as you can see, we have got a pan in, and I have used that 14 times, and I used it in my eyebrows every day. So this was a little bit of a dark shade to put in my eyebrows. I do go for something a little bit lighter normally, but to be honest, it went really well. I did use quite a light hand and obviously a very precise brush. So 14 uses, we managed to hit pan. I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I did use it as a deepening up shade as well for eyeshadow looks, but mainly as an eyebrow shade. I love how it's kind of in the middle of a black and a deep brown. It's very, very dark, and for me that is amazing because I always use like a black and then a shade similar to Cypress Umber, which is kind of in the middle of these two. But with this, I could just put it on and then go. Start blending all my shades on top of that. It was almost like a 2-in-1 shade for me, and I really, really enjoyed it. Moving on to Aussie, I hit pan on this today. Hopefully you can see the shiny pan there, and this took me 28 uses to hit pan. Oh, I really didn't think I'd get there. I really didn't think I would hit this pan, but finally today I did. I used this as a lid setting shade every single time I did my makeup. Finally you can see a pan. Of course, I did use a big fluffy brush for this pan, so it was quite hard to hit. But with 28 uses, just in time for this update, I have hit the second pan. This shade, Moremi, I have used 11 times, and as you can see, hopefully, there is quite a big dip in this. I am hoping to have this as my third pan in this palette quite soon. Hopefully it won't take too much longer. As I said, the dip is pretty huge. I'm wearing this on my inner corner today. I really, really love this shade. It is a little bit too dark for me, so I do like to tap my white highlighter over the top of it just to brighten it a tiny bit, but it really packs a punch as well as all of these shimmers. It really sparkles, really shines. It is so metallic, and I just love Juvia's place for that. The shade Kano, as you can see, we do have pan, but we have not used this at all this month, which is a shame. I think it is because I'm working so hard on Burnt Orange now. I'm trying to finish Burnt Orange in my Pan That palette, and the month before this I was trying to finish Warm Taupe. So this was just kind of sat by the wayside. I may use it 4 times just as like a bronzer or something, really quick, really easy, you know? I'm not too fussed about this shade. It is a very kind of generic shade, I think, in my collection. I do like it. I like the formula, things like that, but yeah, it does go by the wayside, especially when I'm trying to finish so many shades as well that are kind of similar to this. Moving down to Dahomey, I have used this 1 time this month, so I do have 3 more uses left on this. Next we have Bakwa, and I have used this 3 times this month, so I only have 1 more use to go. I do have this on my lower lash line. I just decided to put a little tiny bit just down here. I don't know, I think it adds some contrast. I think it looks really, really nice actually. I really enjoyed how this looks, and I also use this on my nails as well once this month. So I'm really happy with that. Maybe this is another shade that I'm going to hit pan on. I'm not too sure. We'll talk about that later on. And then finally we have Benin, and we have used this 4 times this month, so we have hit our goal on that. So I'm so happy with this progress. Obviously I am doing a lot of eyeshadow panning projects, so having this much progress is pretty good. Obviously I've not rolled it out in 1 month, but that's okay. I'm expecting less perfection from myself because it's unrealistic, especially because I have been so ill this month. I've had a few no makeup days this month just because I have had really bad temporary insomnia, which is interesting. I am sleeping quite well now, so that's good. So I'm going to talk about some looks. This is the first look that I wanted to talk to you about. My crease and my lid are my Pan That palette. But as I said, I did put Bakwa on the lower lash line on quite a precise pencil brush. I used Moremi in the inner corner, and then I did use Aussie just to set the lid. Obviously you can't really see that shade. But I really like how this looks, how Bakwa looks. And as I said, I am trying to finish Burnt Orange this month in my Pan That palette. So I think if I can keep using Bakwa on a tiny pencil brush and put it on the lower lash line, I think we can have pan on this for next month. Obviously it won't take too long because it is such a precise brush, but I think maybe we could have pan on it. Maybe that's going to be our 4th pan. Who knows? And then this look is the second look that I did. The crease again was my Pan That palette, but on the lid I cut the crease and I put Benin here, which is this dark shimmer. I put Bakwa in the middle, and then I put Moremi in the inner corner. And it made this really nice kind of gradient gold look, and I really, really did enjoy that look. I have found that Benin is very, very similar to Antique Bronze in my Pan That palette, but it is obviously a lot more shimmery, a lot more shiny, a lot more kind of standouty. I don't know, Antique Bronze might have to step aside for a little bit because this shade is gorgeous. All right, let's talk about goals for next month. I want to hit pan in Moremi. That is the shade that will 100% have pan by next update. And I do think Bakwa will be my second pan. I don't know. I'm still undecided on my fourth pan, but I do think it will be Bakwa. And then obviously I am going to hit my 4 uses in everything else. I don't think that will take too long at all. As I said, I'm working on a very, very warm tone shade in my Pan That palette this month. I think I'll be okay. So what do you think? Do you think I will have this palette done by next update? Obviously not done, but all my goals for this project. What do you think? Do you think I'll be able to do it? Do you think I will fail miserably? Hopefully I won't, but you never know. I'm really, really enjoying this palette. As I said, it goes really well with my Modern Renaissance. I think this was the perfect palette to pull. As I said, I do hand choose my palettes, and I'm just really happy that this one is no longer gathering dust and it is actually getting used. I am getting quite nervous for level 5. Level 5 is the final level, and hopefully next month we will be able to go on to level 5. But obviously that means I have to hit 5 pans and use every shade 5 times. I do have a palette in mind, but it's like a 20 pan palette, so I'm really not sure. I don't know, but that's a worry for another time, isn't it? This is the palette that I'm focusing on. I'm not going to jump too far into the future, okay? So this is where I'm going to love you and leave you guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I did recently hit 2.9k, which is insanity. I did originally plan to hit 3k by the end of the year, but now we've got 3 months to hit 100 subscribers, and honestly, we are going to smash that goal. So I'm just so grateful for all of you here supporting me and having a great time. Have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video.